Man, this is fucking heavy as just heavy as balls. Holy shit. Oh my god. Fuzz on the bass, fuzz on everything. Just a wall of fuck you. Oh. I'm gonna have to... Are you sitting down? Guys, I was preemptive here. I forgot one key thing. I'm gonna be right back. I forgot a beverage, man. I can't not have a beverage doing a stream. It's not gonna fucking happen then. Wow, I can call myself whatever I want. That's your username? That's fucking awesome. I'm sure myself and my missus could both appreciate that nickname. I'm just gonna call it a nickname. Username. Username error. Anyways, we're chilling today, listening to some stoner rock and doom, and talking about some we'll say crucial pieces in getting these tones in a plug-in form. We're gonna start with stoner rock and go move our way over to doom later in the stream. It's probably gonna be a long boy today. I do have a bit of a headache, but I'm assuming the Coca-Cola is probably going to remedy that pretty good. I'm going to turn down the tunes just a little bit. Fuck yeah. Monolord, one of my favorite bands on the planet. And man, the tone speaks for itself. They do something very unique. Yeah, it's a hyperfuzz, and someone's like, oh, it's just like fucking Electric Wizard. It's not, though. They use the hyperfuzz in a different way. I have my liter of cola. If you've ever seen Super Troopers, you'll know what a liter of cola is. Give me my goddamn liter of cola. Ew. Start a stream at 420 and for... Yeah, man. I did. I purposely started. I did my best to start at 420 today. We have a long list of stuff, and I just realized I've got a duplicate here I don't need. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the difference between stoner rock and doom, and I'm just gonna use two bands that, to me, embody both of those genres. And the two tones I'm going to be kind of loosely looking for today. One band on the stoner rock side, if I'm explaining what these two genres are and how they're different, I would say that my personal favorite stoner rock band of all time is Fu Manchu. And they have an amazing guitar tone. And we're not necessarily going to be doing like a tone talk Fu Manchu, but we're going to be talking about how to get the tones they're after. And the differences in tones here. And then for doom, my favorite tone and my favorite band is obvious, Monolord. That's going to be a constant for a long time. Black Sabbath, though, you can never knock Black Sabbath for their, they have some disgusting, Tony Iommi has some disgusting heavy tones, man. So, I mean, if you guys are interested, by the way, in Doom tones, it's become, I don't want to say it's become less about Doom tones, but I mean, it honestly, Does It Doom is one of my favorite Instagram pages, favorite YouTubes. It's become a little bit more about buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. But that's okay. He's become kind of a brand, and that's super cool. He's doing stuff with Woodbine guitars, and these things are sexy. And I think I think they're called Woodbine now, Wood something rather. This company is actually making their stuff in the same factory as the Paul Reed Smith SE series is made in the same factory. So these are quality instruments, and I'm very interested. There's some like pretty interesting Dunnable, very close to Dunnable kind of designs. There's definitely a lot of like copycat from certain designs inspired by, but some really cool guitars. And he's got, you know, merch and shirts, and he's got pedals, lots of pedals, man. I'd love it if Steve would do a plugin suite, and that I have discussed it. But he definitely wants something he can brand on his own without like an extra branding. So I don't know. It would be cool to see that happen though. He's got some really, really cool pedals. I can call myself whatever I want. We are excited to have you here as well. So now we've got, so essentially what we're going to talk about Fu Manchu. Their tone has sort of changed over the years a little bit, but then there's also bands like Caius, bands like Queens of the Stone Age, who also have some sick tones, and they are all very different. But one thing these bands have in common is their common goal is kind of the same. What you're going to be looking for is kind of your average rock tone. It's going to be, you're going to find your average kind of like dad rock tone with some extra, a little bit of crunch, a little bit of bite to it, little past the edge of breakup. And then you're going to add some fuzz or a rat or something else to give it more gunge, make it gungy, and make it, you know, filthier. So, and then the thing is, if you even listen to Fu Manchu, we'll go over to Fu Manchu, and we're just going to listen to, like, this would be more of a fuzzed out version of one of their songs. You've probably, if you ever played Tony Hawk, you've heard this song before. This is definitely more fuzzed out, the wah on it. And then you hear the rhythm guitar come in like a bulldozer. So yeah, it's fuzzed out, but not to where Doom is necessarily. This was in the day where they were using a bit more fuzz though. But there's still that, you can still hear the distortion. Wonderful tone. You can hear, and then you hear their tone evolved a little bit on something like Written in Stone. So yeah, there's a lot of fuzz, tons of fuzz in there, but at the same time, it's not the primary focus of the tone, which is you're going to be using a little bit less fuzz, and you're going to be using a little bit more of that bite. Now, one plugin, if I had to recommend just one plugin to get all of this done in one shot, it's a weird plugin that many people haven't even heard of, and it's the one on the screen right now. This is Line 6 Doom. Essentially what they did with their Metallurgy series of plugins is they took all the components from Helix Native and put them into Sweet panel style, UIs instead of the Helix Native UIs. And they took stuff mostly from Helix Native, added some things that were only unique to these plugins for about a year or two, and then became part of Helix Native as well, like this sun here, for example. And this one is going to give you probably the best all-around go at getting these tones. If you're looking at just getting straight stoner rock, or if you're looking at getting more of a doom kind of tone. And yeah, there are tones like, for example, Fu Manchu that can toe that line. Whereas if you listen to Queens of the Stone Age, he's got more bite, a little more crunch to things at times, but then he'll go and fuzz things right out too for leads. But generally with Doom, it's all fuzz, maximum fuzz all the time. That is seemingly it's more aggressive. They've begun to employ, the HM2, as well as the hyper fuzz being a long time huge proponent a huge voice. We'll say a huge voice of that sound. It's interesting, right? Two pedals that individually, when they were released, didn't necessarily do that well on their own, being the hyper fuzz and the heavy metal pedal. Both those pedals sort of became a voice of two very different genres. And the other genre we're going to talk about today a little bit in the second half is going to be Swedish death metal, and how easy it is to get a really, really good Swedish death metal guitar tone with only two components and one of them being free. Okay? That's going to be around the end of the stream. I'm going to get into that. Don't let me forget. Xander Bananas, how are you? Messerecto, how are you? Andy, Murph, I knew Andy would be here today. Andy's a big lover of the fuzz, as am I. Hey, Swamp Thing is back. Yeah, I just got a guitar gifted back to me because I had a friend of mine that I thought might want it, and he took it for a while. I'm not sure he ever played it or not, but it's actually, I'm going to use it for a stream this weekend maybe. This thing is it is literally Swamp Thing. It is literally the most modified guitar maybe ever. I'm going to go over that maybe with you guys tomorrow. I have to show it to you. It is an absolute mess. It looks like you found it at the dump, and it still sounds pretty good. Anyways, all right, so we're going to get into it. And the other thing about the difference in Doom and Stoner Rock is a lot of Stoner Rock is in D and C. A lot of Doom is in C, B, and lower. So it's like they have that middle meeting point with the C and the C sharp. But generally, Doom, a lot of Doom bands are playing in that drop 6 B to B, stock standard B tuning. And that's going to be another thing. As far as we're talking about pickups, this is where things can get a little interesting. Really, it depends on you and the voice that you want to give things. You really just it depends on you as far as that goes. In this particular guitar, it is tuned in D, and it has a set of Railhammer Billy Corgan Z1s, and these are sold on. I was sold on these by BJ Russell. He's like, you need to try these things. I was like, I know the guys over there decently well. I'm gonna reach out and see if they sure enough, they were like, yeah, fuck yeah, here's a set, try them out. And I don't think they're ever gonna leave this guitar, although I still have this deep hunger to see this guitar with a slime neon green pickup. How sick would that look in this guitar? A slime neon green set of humbuckers. Oof. Man, I saw this one set that even had a teal Seymour Duncan logo on it. And I was picturing, I can't get that picture out of my mind now. But this set really should live here. All right. So we're going to get started with what I think is I think this is going to be able to get both sides of this. And I think it's going to be fun to kind of take a look through, being that it's not a super well-known plugin. The Metallurgy series, just to me, was never even really marketed. It didn't seem like I don't think has anybody ever seen a demo? Has anyone seen a demo on this product? I don't think I've seen one demo on this product anywhere. I went looking at one point, there was a couple of them, but nothing was really notable. Now I'm trying to figure out how to get this. Oh boy. Oh, I don't want to do this. All right. I guess I'm going to have to. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, these pickups do look pretty sick in this guitar. I will say that. Pretty nice. It sounds good so far. This is literally, I don't think there are any pedals on right now. None. This is just the amp and the cab. I think there's some sort of... I'm just going to shut the... I don't care about the post effects at all right now. Do not care. I'm going to shut this room verb right off because I've already got my own room verb. I don't need a room verb inside a room verb. Something you want to kind of make sure you have a look at as well. This is almost a perfect stoner rock tone right out of the box. I don't think I have to do jack or shit to this, but we're going to do a little. Oh, it's going to crash. Oh, no, it's not. These plugins, I will say, they do funky things from time to time. So if it crashes us, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all. I actually like the way it's sounding right now with nothing. There's no pedals on right now, but we're going to do that anyways. I would also say that EL34 tubes, an EL34... Let's try that again. An amp with an EL34 tube section is usually a good idea for both of these genres. I would suggest just has a voicing that seems to make sense. So we're gonna go over the big horn here. Also, when it comes to the two genres, one tends to be a little bit more, yeah, and the other one tends to be a little bit more, yeah. I don't know if that makes any sense. When it comes to stoner rock, and I think about bands like Fu Manchu, it's always very like a party kind of atmosphere. A lot of those songs are just, yeah, slide, yeah. And it's just very like, kind of like energetic kind of music. Whereas Doom, it's a little more upbeat and up-paced as well. Whereas Doom is generally very slow and dreary and drony and more drawn out. Again, explaining I'm not trying to mansplain anything to anyone, just trying to explain where we're at. Now, so if I wanted to go from stoner rock to Doom, these two pedals are going to be where it's at. This one here, obviously being, and right now it's the only way that you're going to get the hyper fuzz tone is either with this or with a NAM capture. There's nothing that sounds quite like a hyper fuzz. And if you don't like that sound, I don't judge you at all because it's one of those acquired tastes, much like the heavy metal pedal itself from Boss, the HM2. Now, this one, I know that Bo knew exactly what this was based on. This is the The vital distortion, I can't recall off the top of my head. I knew we had this figured out, but this thing sounds unbelievable. All right, so let's turn it on here. Now this I could definitely use more for stoner rock. It's got a little more teeth to it. Yes, but mansplain, I realize that the realm we have here is the majority of us are this is a sausage party for sure. But it doesn't matter. I think the way that I mean it here is that mansplain has a tone of voice to it. You know what I mean? It has this like condescending, this like, it's this tone. I could, it's hard to explain. It's just this naggy sort of, you're bothering me and I shouldn't have to teach you. This is so stupid. Why do I have to teach you this kind of attitude? And it just drives you kind of bananas. I've had people try to do that to me. I've actually had ladies. I've actually had ladies try to mansplain things to me even. And having, like, not my lady here, but other folks in the wild, I've actually had that as well. It's a tone. It's this condescending, I can't believe you should know this sort of attitude. I am so, this is above me to be even teaching this to you, but I guess if I friggin' have to, that sort of attitude, right? It's the EQD Earthquaker Devices life pedal as used by Sun. Oh! How do you say that band? Do you say that band's name? Do you just say Sun? Or do people pronounce the zero and all the oh? Is that what I'm supposed to say there? Is that what it wants me to do? Is that what those is that what the brackets are telling me to do, that I need to extend this? They use the zero for the O because it's bigger and more open, right? They want me to and then it's just like the bracket means I need to continue that longer. You know, that's the way I'm looking at it. Anyways, this thing here is friggin' cool. The earthquake life pedal, the Earthquaker Devices. There, I got it. Okay, let's see what we can do with this bad boy. Yeah, this is definitely where I parked my car. That's pretty nice. Guys, that's really nice. There's also this Mandarin rocker. You know, this I feel lame listening to my usual playlist. I'm gonna go to Fu Manchu radio and just go here instead. Hopefully I won't catch too much shit on it. But then, yeah, just to explain my ideal tone when it comes to Fu Manchu, if I can go and actually look for the song that I was looking for in the first place, would be a song called Squash That Fly. And this is a tone right here. Like, this to me is the tone for... This is it. That tone is just so sick. Now, I think he's using a Marshall DSL with some, like a tone bender or something. I can't be sure. But we're going to move along to the Mandarin Rocker, which has potentially the worst graphic. One of the strangest and... I mean, look at this one. Look at this amp, looks immaculate. This one, albeit, looks a little bit ridiculous when put next to it. Like, if this was its own plugin and it wasn't by Line 6 and it was by some random upshoot, random insert name here, DSP, and this was the graphic, it would not reach out to me at all. However, that being said, it sounds pretty good. It still sounds good. This sounds fucking awesome. This is terrific. Big muff. I'm only going to be using this for another couple of minutes here. And I just wanted to show you guys around. There's also multiple cabinets here. There's a few. This sounds like a decent sounding cabinet. So if you're an at-home Doom player and you're getting a little worried because you had to downsize, downscale, and you had to move into a smaller place and you just cannot let the old fucking 412 cabinets rip at home anymore, you had to move into a jam space. And at home, all you've got is an acoustic guitar. That's lame. Take these grandpa's guitars, put it away in the case. Get yourself Line 6 Doom and just have it to have it. Get yourself a laptop. If you don't already have a decent laptop, these do not require a crazy fast machine. None of the plugins in this episode, I don't think, are super need intensive, but get yourself something reasonable. Get yourself a single input interface that just plugs right into your USB. You plug your guitar into it. You move along with life. It sounds beautiful. Everyone's happy. Things are falling from the heavens. You're able to write songs. You're able to write songs at home and have this sound in your headphones, throw a little bit of that room vibe that they had, and suddenly it sounds like you're just sitting in the middle of like your rehearsal space. You close your eyes, you have a couple of beer, you sit in the corner or whatever it is you like to do to relax. You sit and play guitar with just the headphones. You close your eyes and it sounds like you're literally, you can't feel the air moving and your teeth, you can't feel the roots of your teeth, trying to force your teeth out. But you know what I mean? You get that feeling. Anybody that stood in front of a lot of moving air knows that feeling of when it starts to rattle your teeth. Something is so loud, it starts to hurt your face. If you've never experienced that, well, you ought to find some ear protection though. Don't do it in the nude. Get yourself some ear pro and listen to something. Stand in front of an amp that is so fucking loud that it literally, you can feel like your sinuses are trying to push your teeth right on out. And it's an interesting feeling. It's an interesting sensation to own an amp like that. But that said, that kind of volume isn't good anywhere anymore. What's it good for? In this particular situation, I suggest that you invest in a small at-home plug-in type of rig that you can use for writing, demoing, sending your bandmates ideas, playing guitar at 2 o'clock in the morning and not having anyone hear you, because if you're playing on an acoustic or even an unplugged electric is lame though when you're trying to write songs and all you can hear is playing acoustic guitar. If it's, you know, that's going to also, if it's a small place and you've got neighbors, they're going to hear that shit too, so it doesn't really matter. It's not about analog versus digital anymore. It's about analog plus digital and having to utilize both of those things to make sure that you can enhance your creativity and your inspiration to its fullest. You know what I mean? How many of us out there that have written songs woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you just can't sleep, but you've got a really cool idea for a song that you need to just like sit and learn it and then just, you know, lay it down. And this is a very easy way to be able to do that. Absencios, how are you? The orange amp on distant would be a sick amp for you to do. I don't disagree with that. Big Muff. Son, oh! Rafita Pepita. Son, oh hell yeah, brother, is how I pronounce it. So you're a fan. I've never met one. I've never actually met one. I have so many questions for you. How do you listen to that? It just, to me, what Sun sounds like is like, it just sounds like two people playing guitar really loud. There's no drums, dude. There needs to be drums. You need drums. You need drums. Some type of drums. You need drums. Audio Authority. What the fuck? Are you saying? Audio Authority sounds like a new company, but did you mean Audiority? If you mean Audiority, okay, but is there actually a new company called Audio Authority? Because that sounds like a real company name. I'm not mocking anyone's taste in music, by the way, because Lord knows I like some strange fucking shit. And I have a good time doing it. I like some really strange fucking shit. All right. The really weird inclusion here. I'm not 100% sure that who threw these cabinets in here knew, like, I don't, it's very strange to see the Mesa Boogie oversized 412 with V30s in here. Although now that I see it, I'm going to have to go and try it. Now, I didn't even really give it a try. I could have. There's also different selection of mics as well. Currently, we have a 47 and a Ribbon 4038. I don't know my mics to that level necessarily, but I'm going to use a 414. And I like that when you touch the mic, they actually show you where the speaker is, and then they go back to the way the grill is. I like that a lot, actually. That's wonderful. I'm going to build a tone a little bit more here. And I'm going to go back over here and see where we're at. Now, I just don't know that I like this particular cabinet with this amp. In fact, I think it's actually against the law in some countries to use an orange amp through a Mesa Boogie cabinet. I could be wrong, though. I don't know what countries where that would be illegal. I'm just teasing, guys. Now that sounded all right. I'm okay with that. Go back to the orange. For me, the best tones I've ever kind of pulled out of this particular plugin was using my own my own selection of impulse responses, but I mean, I want to be able to. That was kind of annoying. Hang on. Whoa, that was bad. Man, these pickups rip. They really do. Mississippi sucks. Can someone please tell me the cheaper way to get the sound of the JCM 800? I'm searching for need help. I want to try to keep it around $400. What do you mean? You want an amp or a plug-in? Because, brother, you don't need no $400. You ain't gonna need anywhere close to that. Absolutely, you're going to need nothing anywhere close to that. There's going to be a few we're going to be able to recommend to you. They're all going to be in the ballpark of between $79 and $129, unless you want an amp. Well, then you're not in the wrong place. We generally focus on amp sims here, but nonetheless, you're going to have plenty of us here that have plenty of experience with analog amps, myself being one of them. And I would say if you're looking to get the Marshall JCM 800 sound on the cheap, I would actually go as far as a Bugera. Bugera has Bugera. Bugera is probably going to be your best bet. Those amps are for the ballpark price are almost unbeatable. But then again, all the stuff that's pouring out of China lately, just head over to Glenn Fricker's channel. He's constantly showing off crazy cheap stuff from import made stuff. He's constantly showcasing it. So I think it's Spectre Sound Studios or something like that. Check out his channel. He's got lots and lots, and that's in fact YouTube is full of information on all of these really cheap knockoff amps that are coming out of China these days. Yeah, Bugera though, man. That's the other thing, man. The other way that you could get the sound of a JCM 800 for not a lot of money would be to get like a valve state. Valve state that's a cool way as well. Of Bugera, the Bugera 1990 is the one. Yeah, man, and I've owned two different Bugeras in my lifetime, and I cannot for the life of you remember which ones. They were the ones there were two that were based on 5150s, and I ended up buying both of them just to find out. And my drummer at the time bought one of the amps off me, and it's kind of become the loaner amp at his jam space. And that thing has not. I mean, I know there were problems with the early Bugera stuff and having the power section just like basically fucking melt. Just essentially just like would melt and the amp would just set on fire. Not literally like smoldering rubble, but like it would just, yeah, they were, yeah. You could go look that up. I'm not making that up. But they've come a long way. The Bugera stuff is no joke. It's loud. It sounds good. It's all tube. And man, like it's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat. There's been countless blind sound tests, and even like experts could not tell the difference between the Bugera and the real deal by listening to it through the exact same cabinet and mics. Could not tell the difference. And I'm not saying that I've ever been subject to something like that, but man, like there's a lot of people out there to suggest that those are, man, they are what they are, and they're legitimate. They sound great. They're clones essentially. Maybe a Black Star HT gets, those are a bit more than $400 though. Plus, weird thing about Black Star that I found out over the last while, because Black Star has a couple of plugins, obviously developed by somebody else. They don't employ coders and programmers in-house, I don't think. So I'm curious. I haven't tried the plugins. I've heard they're quite nice. I know who didn't make them, that does a lot of contract work, and I'm kind of curious who might have made them for them. But the interesting thing about Black Star, and the kind of an irritating thing, and I can call them out on this because it annoyed me, is that they're signature artists. They don't like, and they discourage their signature artists from doing signature plugins. There's two different artists now that I know that work with that company, where the company has told them, like, well, we have our own plugins. We'd like our artists to help us promote our own plugins. Yeah, but where's the artist taking that? Are you going to pay them a demo wage? Is it something that's expected of them under a contract? You know, you can't just tell an artist, no, you can't go and make signature sound. They're not, unless they're trying to use the Black Star amp or a Black Star logo. I don't know, politely, I would just tell the company, thanks, but no thank you. We love your amps, but we're going to go and do this thing because we're going to make a decent amount of money for the band. In any event, that's just old man ranting. Black Star HT100 is a great try as well. That's fair. I don't know much about that amp, but I've heard good things. I don't think it's a scam. It's just an artist. Maybe these particular artists came at them wanting to use the branding. I don't know. I just know that there are two artists that don't have signature plugins because that particular company told them that they would prefer they didn't. However, that being said, there could be a huge miscommunication. And if I'm ever made aware of that, 100%, I'll come out and be like, yeah, this happened. I couldn't care less, though. The other thing, by the way, Mr. Mississippi Sucks, other thing you can use is something called a Marshall Governor. Now, a Marshall Governor, as there's GUVNOR is how that particular pedal is spelt. And if you're curious, go and check the Governor out, as you can kind of, it's supposed to be sort of a plexi in a box. And no, it doesn't really sound the same, but it'll get you that vibe maybe. And you can find those things. Pardon me. Itchy nose. Wasn't good. It didn't go for the pick. All right, so we're going to say goodbye to Line 6 Doom for now. I'm going to come back to it after when I go and grab my other guitar. I'm going to pull the Destroyer out for the second half when we're after Doom and Swedish death metal is what we're going to be after second half. Right now, what we're after is more stoner rock. Queens of the Stone Age, Caius, tons of different bands, tons of different examples. Many are on this wonderful list here. Today, I'm listening to... Oh, it didn't want me to listen to the rest of the album. Dozer, another great one. The Sword, another great example. Although the Sword, they're just different. The Sword is the Sword. They just do their own thing. Lots of amazing tones. But this is actually another fine example of stoner rock tone versus Doom. Fuzzed out, but less, lighter on the fuzz, a little bit more on the rock. And for me, in the second half, I'll be able to show you guys the very prime example of being able to do that. otherwise. Now, we're going to go to amplification clearance. This is my favorite orange sim on the market today. Actually, no, we're not going to go there yet. We're going to go to the Nembrini Audio MRH 810 because we're talking about 800s right now and we're after Stoner Rock. So I'm just going to toss that in, and I'm going to toss in the free Nembrini Audio. Nembrini Black is going to go in there as well. For starters, though, we're going to get our tone all dialed in before you get the pedal tone dialed in. So let's see what we got here. I don't need that reverb for any reason at all, ever. Thank you. I'm just kidding. All right, so we've got cabinets and more cabinets to choose from. We've got a Marshall, we've got Marshalls. We have a Mesa, we have an Orange, we have a Bogner, that little 212 Bogner. Well-traveled little man this is. The Tweed, which we're not going to be touching on, and another Marshall. I'm going to go with this Marshall to start off. That's getting me in the ballpark of where I kind of want to park my car. Sounds pretty good. Let's throw in the Rat, which is Nembrini Audio Black. That's pretty full. It sounds pretty nice. So again, this is what I'm looking for with this. I'm going to be looking for that something slightly fuzzed. I mean, obviously the Rat is not a fuzz. And so if I want something that's going to get a little closer to like something like Fu Manchu, we're going to throw this also free from Fuse Audio Labs, the Big Sur, into the mix and see if we can't get a little closer to where we're after there. That's going to be a bit closer. I'm going to maybe want to even a bit more fuzz. These days, actually, the one guitar player, Bob Balk, in Fu Manchu uses rail hammers. So cheers to rail hammer bros. I have not tried his set, but I would have nowhere to put them even if I did. Even if they sent them, there's just literally nowhere for them to go right now. So I wouldn't be able to do it. The MRH does great black metal sounds. I don't disagree with you. Did anyone already try the HM2 pedal in Mercurial Amp Box? Is it any good? They added it? I have not tried it, but I'm interested. Black Sabbath? Shot Show. Yes, we're going to be here for a bit. I'm excited. It's winding down to the end of my amazing work year. It's been it's been a good year. Apart from a couple of hiccups, couple bumps in the road. Otherwise, it's been a pretty good year, all things considered. I feel like it was a successful year for me professionally. Maybe not necessarily personally, but professionally, my work this year has been I'm very happy with my work. With the one individual I've been working with throughout this entire school year. For those not in the know. I do work in education, and I work with some amazing kids. The particular learner that I work with is a boy with autism, and it's a rewarding job, but at the same time, working in a school atmosphere is a grinding environment. So I am very excited to be able to be off for the summer, and I'm happy to announce we're going to be doing something called the Summer Series. I should have done it. That was actually a good moment to try it. Let's do it. We're going to be doing something called the Summer Series. Nice. So the Summer Series just means I'm going to be streaming more. That's all that's going to happen. We're going to be doing some giveaways, a bunch of giveaways. We're going to be doing some tons of products, so many new products. One new product that, guys, the secret amp that I've teased you guys with twice now, twice. That one is going to be coming out right around my birthday. And I'm so excited. Not to be older, man, birthdays fucking bum me out. But otherwise, man, I'm excited because this particular plugin is going to be coming out around my birthday. And I'm pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about it, to be honest. All right. Let's do this. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Man, SmackDown tonight. Excited. Kyle Hunter's not here, though. I'm bummed out. Is Kyle in the house? Man, exciting. Gonna be a good weekend. Gonna be a great weekend. I'm not sure if the weather's gonna hold up for doing many things outside, but we're gonna go play around at disc golf anyways. Always talking about it in here. If you have a disc golf course in your area and you want to get started, man, it's awesome. It's an easy way to walk a lot if you don't necessarily like the monotony of just walking on its own. Some people don't like that. I'm one of those people. I like walking, but I don't like just walking. That's one of the reasons I love disc golf. It's essentially walking with sports. You walk, you throw a frisbee. You walk, you throw a frisbee. That's it. Super easy to get into. There's always, and I say always, a disc golf course near almost everyone. It's such a worldwide sport at this point that there's likely one in your area. You just didn't know it. You probably walked right by a Target and didn't know it. You're like, why the fuck are we listening to this? Because I want to tell you about it. I'm telling you, it helps me stay way more active. And then when I say always, there's always a community that lives at the course that you're going to go play at. So please always be respectful, follow your course rules. But there's always going to be someone there's always local people looking to help new people learn how to play. It's what we do. It's very welcoming, always very inclusive. And if you are a fan of the green stuff, it pairs really nicely. Xander Bernard's, I'm actually kind of shocked knowing, like, just to look at you and knowing about you. I'm surprised. I'm actually kind of shocked that you're not like an avid pro. If you know that riff, that's going to be the riff. It's not in that tuning. It's actually a step lower. But if you know the riff, shout me out. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, tone is gorgeous. Are you pairing it with the big sewer? Damn right I am. I am pairing it currently with the big sewer. This is a freebie. And if you want to pair anything, man, like you can pair whatever you want. There's another great fuzz pedal you might not have heard of right here. In fact, this is the Moon Muffin V1 Tri-Ref. This thing is a beast. There's two different fuzz pedals, fuzz plugins you can buy from Kuwasa. And one of them is this Moon Muffin here. And the other one is this incredibly versatile beast right here. This one has 5 different fuzz pedals inside, and they all sound different. I'll take you guys through all of them right here. This is just some average ass settings. Let's check it out. That's big. Sustainer. Trans. Vintage. And Zep. This pedal is awesome. It's one of my favorite fuzz plugins, and I always kind of forget about it. But man, every single one of these they don't sound different, like necessarily right off the bat, but they feel different. They play different. All 5 of these very different. They respond different. The controls are not, again, this is not just like 5 profiles or captures with like a basic UI laid over top that does exactly the same thing to each different pedal. It's not that at all. These are different pedals. These controls they operate differently from pedal to pedal. So, and the value is crazy at Kuwasa as well. Crazy value over there. Insane amount of value. Gotta check them out, guys. A couple out of the 100 have magic in them when you play them. Kyle, holy shit. He did it again. He did it again. Say his name and he appears. Literally, dude. I just said your name about 3 minutes ago or less. I was like, is Kyle here? I was just talking about SmackDown very briefly, and then here you are. Man, you're like literally you're our version of Joe Hendry. That's hilarious. Doomagorgon from Audiority is a beast indeed. You want it, but I was going to save it for the second half because that's more of a doomy pedal. I don't think I would use the Doomagorgon for stoner rock, so I'm actually not even going to take it there. We're going to just keep it. I think Vintage is my favorite, though. Very nice. So this is giving you guys an idea. This is a cheap setup too. This is obviously not at regular price. That this is going to be a standard 129 type of deal, but this one often gets blown right out for like 19 bucks and things of that and prices like that. You'll be able to get this one cheap if you like it. I'm not using that in the second half, so I'm going to move along to the 159. This is another Marshall beast from Nembrini Audio. This thing is awesome. I take it over here. There's a number of cabinets. I'm going to use an orange, and I'm going to use going to check my tone first. Oh, that has all of that jazz happening. Mute. Thank you. It's FUZZZZZ. I don't need the Variac right now. Little loaded soon here. 2. All right, that's sounding in the ballpark. The cabinet's a bit bright for what I'm looking for right now. I like this funky weird EVH style cabinet. Bo is not here at the moment, but he would know. Greg Davidson, nice to see you, brother. By the way, I don't think I greeted Ton Guitarra today. Sorry. What do I think about the Audio Assault products? Brother, I've used the Audio Assault products plenty. I've been using them from day one. And when I say day one, I remember I'm definitely one of the OG customers of Audio Assault products. And they've only gotten better and better and better and better and better over the years. I can remember when they were struggling to compete with the top, the upper echelon. Then through experience and also bringing in Brian from Sea Cow Cabs and his brilliance. There's lots of different stuff going on now there they have just magnificent stuff happening over there now. The Amp Locker monthly subscription is definitely very cool. They have some very unique products there as well. A lot of it's very affordable, 100%. Definitely very, very much could vouch for Audio Assault products, 100%. Very solid. Oh, fucking Bo. Bo just pops up. What's the story with this cabinet, Bo? Bo knows Van Halen stuff. And so what is the story with this cabinet specifically? Because all it says to me is an MRH 412 Brown. There's got to be... What are the different... clearly, they want us to know there are 2 different types of speakers in this cabinet. So, yeah, and we're into it. We're into it. Mississippi sucks. Does anyone know anything about Wild Audio guitars? Yes, I know plenty about those guitars. They're made by Schecter, and they're made mostly in Korea. They're made for war, man. I have a friend of mine with one, and it literally feels like you're picking up. It feels like you're picking up like a stump. Honestly, it feels like, when you see like a tree stump and it's got a big root hanging out. That's what it feels like. You're picking up a fucking stump. And I think that the quality speaks worlds when Zach himself literally only uses the Korean models on tour, from what I understand. It's not as if in a situation like Gibson, whenever you see an artist, a famous artist like Trivium or Jared James Nichols or any of those guys that are using Epiphone branded guitars, those are not Epiphone. Those are made in the custom shop for them and just say Epiphone. Those are full scale custom shop Gibsons. In the case of Zach Wild, he's literally playing the instruments that you're buying and that I'm buying. And well, I haven't bought one yet, but there's definitely a couple models that have enthused me and got me scratching my beard a little bit. And from what I understand, they're made super well with super good parts. They're made very beefy. And judging by the only one that I've ever seen or played, and I didn't even have more than two and a half seconds to play it. And it wasn't set up to my liking either. So it's hard to enjoy playing a guitar when the action is like this fucking high. In any event, they're very well made instruments. As far as I understand, they're made by Schecter in Korea. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. We just like plugins, Greg. We just like plugins around here. All right, now if we're after that, we're after again. I'm going to go back to Big Sur here, and man, I think I'm excited for what's about to happen. And that's it right there. That's going to be the best stoner rock tone that I'm going to be able to get today. I don't see myself being able to outdo the tone that I'm hearing right now. This particular amp was made by he did this plugin because he loves Van Halen and he wanted a plugin that he could do Van Halen-y stuff with. And this one by all means does that does a mean Van Halen. There's a lot of components to the Van Halen sound, as I'm learning. It doesn't happen like it. There are multiple cabs and delays and fucking different mics on different speakers on different cabinets, and things are happening. There's lots going on, but this plugin really does get you really close. The other thing that gets you closer than any other plugin on the market right now, the other thing it does is it gets you close to the Green Day sound. And you're like, fuck, I don't care about Green Day. Well, some people do. And whether you care about Green Day or not, go and listen to an album with the guitar tone in mind. Don't listen to anything else. And listen to the gigantic wall of fucking Marshall that band employs. Also, just realize that Mike Dirnt is doing a signature Gibson Grabber, an affordable model. Oh, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. I've wanted a Gibson Grabber since I was way young. And now that I know that there's a new Gibson Grabber style bass out there that's been kind of modernized, oh, they look nice. Oh, they look nice. I don't play enough bass, though. I'd have to sell a bass for sure. But I don't think I could buy another bass. Like, I don't think I could do. I just don't think I could do it. Definitely I mean, as far as I understand it, Matt, like when you see Matt Heafy is not playing, you know, it's tough because he's not playing his signature model on stage. There just is no way. I don't think so anyways. I could be completely wrong about that, but it was told to me by more than a couple of people that was indeed, and I've read it, that was the case. So all the Epiphone guys, like the guys that are playing Epiphone in arenas and stuff, those guys are playing stuff that was made in the custom shop. Just like most of the Gibson guys are playing stuff that was made for them, right? That's fair. That's okay. So that, that lines up. Yeah. But I mean, I can't see, I mean, I could be wrong, but I know for a fact, if you go over to, like, for example, Grady Champion, the guitar tech for Pantera has lots of, stuck content on his Instagram. And he's just showing I was looking through and I saw a picture of the back of Zakk Wylde's guitar rack. And it was up close. It was kind of meant to be like, kind of a semi-artistic picture up really close. And I noticed made in Korea, made in Korea, made in Korea. And I'm like, what I don't know about, and Bo might know about this, is what's with the Wild Audio amps? Are those for sale? I've never looked at those. I just noticed he's playing Wild Audio amps now as well. I heard about this. I just don't know anything about it. Watch it go. Oh, Mississippi sucks. I'm going to have to tell them, man, you brought it up, and now the wife has to pay the price. We got to watch the Pantera home videos again. Yeah, we occasionally go, no, I don't eat fucking donuts. No, get those things out of my fucking face. Ingve doesn't like donuts. Fuck, that sounds delicious. All right. So what I was getting at there is the type of tone that you're going to be able to be after here for Green Day. I mean, look, if you're go and listen to that album, you hear the ballsy tone. So for example, hey, this is going to be the closest you're going to get to that Green Day sound inside one plugin. This is going to do it all for you right here. Man, this sounds good. Holy smokes, this plugin sounds delicious. So, what did we learn in the first half of this one? Well, we learned that Line 6 has a sort of a weird little selection of kind of awesome plugins. Apart from Helix Native that is very awesome, they have these offshoots of things that, yeah, they're pretty, these Metallurgy plugins are pretty awesome. Also, what did we learn about stoner rock tones? Well, we learned that we want to start out with like your average, just past the edge of breakup, dad rocky kind of tone. Then you want to add a fuzz pedal to that, but you don't want it so fuzzed out that you're just completely overdoing the crunch and you're just creating a sausage. No one wants the sausage wave until you get to the Doom stuff. That's what we'll say. Stoner rock, no sausage. Doom, complete sausage. And if you're not familiar with what a sausage wave is, if you've ever actually recorded anything with fuzz on it, you'll notice that the wave essentially just goes in square. Like, it's just a fucking sausage all the way down. Same thickness all the way down. Why wouldn't he release them, I wonder? Why would Zakk Wylde not release these amps, knowing full well that they would sell lots of them? They would sell lots of them. You know what I mean? He would definitely sell a bunch of those amps, 100%. All right, so the second half, we are hanging out, and we're going to be doing some doomier type things in the second half. Definitely going to be doing some doomier type stuff in the second half, and it's going to be fuzzed out. We're going to be doing a bit of Swedish death metal on the end of the stream, showing you guys how fucking easy and cheap. It might be the cheapest thing to do on an amazing level with plugins is to get a high quality Swedish death metal sound, and it is not difficult, not by any stretch of the word, not difficult. So we're going to go over the differences between stoner rock and doom, and like audibly, and we're going to go over some of the bands. We're going to be going after some tones. It's going to be fun. It's going to be super fuzzed out. We're hanging out. It's kind of a bummer because in the wintertime, I can do streams on Fridays, and by the mid-stream, it's starting to get dark, and it starts to look a little better for filming in here. But then in my part of the world, at this time of the year, it doesn't get dark until about 10:30 at night. And the other night, it was like 11 o'clock. I could still see a sliver, It's a pretty interesting time. But whereas in winter time, it's dark by what feels like 4:30. It feels like, well, probably about 5:30, it's dark. So it's kind of a weird thing, but for filming, it's definitely nice to have a little bit more dark, although this window is impossible. But all right, guys, I'm going to be back in the second half. We're going to go over some of these plugins. It's going to be a good time. I can guarantee it. It's going to be a guaranteed good time. Maybe, just maybe, we'll give something away in the second half. So stick around. I think we'll probably give something away in the second half. All right, guys, cheers, and I will talk to you in about 3 minutes. Yeah. Yes. You know what song I was listening to? Pardon me. Yeah. It's not a wonder what I was just doing. I'm not like so heat bag right now. So let me tune up here, guys. This is my destroyer, also armed with rail hammer pickups. This is an anvil and a a Nuevo 90 bridge in the neck position. I just like the sound of it in the neck position. What happened was I accidentally fucked it up and put the wrong pickup in there. But then when I switched it to the actual neck, I realized I didn't like it. I liked the bridge better in the neck position paired with the anvil. So, yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to use this guy here. We're going to hang out. Going to make some brutal sounds. And thank you for joining me, everybody. By the way, thank you. I usually like to thank you guys at the end of the first half. Thank you so much for being here. I love what we do here. I'm going to continue to do this for some time until I can't. And it's fun, though. It's always fun just talking about this kind of stuff and how you can get. And I mean, and I'm in for anything. If you have a particular genre or a band that you'd like to know, how do I get this band or this particular genre with plugins only? How? Let me know. Tell me in the comments. If you haven't seen it on the channel yet, if we've done it, I'm just going to refer you to the stream where we did it, and it was fun. We've done plenty of different genres around here, and we've done many of them way more than once. Especially, it is really trying to buck me today. All right. By the way, this is the TASU, TASU, the Amsterdam Universe stream playlist. If you're ever curious about things that play on this channel, this is where it's at right here. Okay, let's go back. I'm not knocking Epiphones, by the way. I am not knocking Epiphones. I don't, and I'll just come out and say it. I'm just reading through the comments. I'm not knocking them. However, here's what I will say. So weird. My own stuff pops up so often on here. Why do I put it in the list? I don't know. Because it's made with amp sims. But I'm not knocking Epiphone. If I'm going to be honest, I don't like their Les Paul headstocks. I don't like the headstock they put with their Les Pauls. The Les Paul headstock is a beautiful headstock. And if you notice, their Explorer has just a very slightly different headstock than the Gibson Explorer. So you would think that the Epiphone Les Paul headstock would just be just something very minimal in the difference. That's what kills it for me, is the headstock. I'm a huge headstock guy. If the headstock sucks for me, I can't look at the guitar. I can't own it for sure. I could never play a guitar that to me, my own eyes, is not aesthetically pleasing. I could, especially not in content. There'd be no way. I can't do it. It's a crucial part of one's love for a guitar. It's a crucial part. It sounds silly, but it just is. Now, however, the Epiphone Explorer headstock is beautiful. I would love to own an Epiphone Explorer. Holy shit, would I love to own one. I actually almost had one for a really good price. It was like Canadian funds. I think it was $550 or $600. This was about 6 to 8 months ago. And he wanted to keep the pickups, but that was a deal breaker for me. Like he had put EMGs in it, and he said, I want to keep the EMGs and I'll put the other pickups back in. I was like, well, your ad says nothing about that, so no. He's like, well, I'll take the price down. I was like, no, you were already dishonest about it. Like, you could have just say it in your ad. I'm going to change the pickups, or just change them and take new pictures. I would have bought it for sure for like, I'm fucking $50 less. I would have bought that guitar. But that's why I have this guy here, because in all honesty, I like the Destroyer shape more than the Explorer anyway. And I like the neck profile on Ibanez way more than I like the necks on Gibsons anyways. However, my dream guitar, I have this dream top 5 that I can't always remember, but there are certain guitars I have a dream top 5 though. And on that list is a Gibson Voodoo Explorer. Like if I was to get billionaire FU rich, that would be a guitar that I would just like pay some random person employed by me to find me this guitar. He wants 5,000, give him 6, like give him 6, give him 7, and pay for overnight shipping. What's that? It costs $1,500 to ship it overnight. I don't care. Figure it out. One of that kind of rich. That would be the only way I think I could ever justify finding a Gibson Voodoo Explorer. But like, if we're gonna go look at it, can we go look at it? Can we just go look at Gibson Voodoo Explorer? I would just have to go look at it. Oh, I'm looking at it. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, look at it. Oh my Lanta, look at that beautiful, beautiful guitar. If they're always looking for ideas to reinvent their product at Gibson. Let's go to the screen. Man, like, if you guys can't see it close enough, like, look at that, the wood grain. I know Bo, and look at the fucking knobs. That knobs! But I've also seen one of these guitars where somebody, I don't know how they did it, but someone had pink pickups in this guitar and they looked really good. So I can't say that wouldn't be something interesting to me or not. I don't know if I'd love these pickups or not, but man, I want that guitar so bad. Ever since the day I saw it, when the day these came out, or presumably at the time, you only found out through the guitar magazines. So the first guitar magazine where I saw that these had been released, the big ad, I was like, oh my God. They did a Les Paul, they did the Explorer, and they did an SG, and they were so nice. Gosh, and they're always looking for new ideas. Guys, can we rebirth these already? Like, that company is claiming to make some sick moves. Oh, somebody owns both of these. Somebody owns the Voodoo Les Paul, and man, that fret marker on the 5th, the candy skull on the 5th fret. Oh my God. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. Unbelievable. Oh, that guitar is just gorgeous. Jeez Louise. So that's, yeah. Tell me in the comments as well. What is one of the guitars, or tell me your dream top 5. I'm all ears. I will read it. Speaking of reading comments, I'm going to go to the comments. Hold on. Let me catch up here. Okay, that's where I left off. Yeah, but Zach Wild, he's focused on guitars. I think somebody though, okay, can we be honest with each other? Have you guys seen the new Zach Wild shape? Can we be honest with each other? Okay, can we be honest? Do I need to look it up? Fuck, I'm gonna look it up. Does anybody know what it's called? New Zach Wild guitar. That's it. Right there. It's puke. It's puke, puke, puke. Somebody. And like this one. Just look at it. I can't. However, that being said, I'm not going to make fun because then you go. Stop it. Okay, I hadn't seen that one before. Okay. Oh, geez Louise. There's the one. Okay, just be professional here. Okay, I can't. There's one, and I can't seem to find it. Okay, hold on. Wild guitars. That's not the new one. So that one's pretty rough. Okay, so this one's sick, though. Sick. I love this one. I love this one a whole bunch. I love that headstock. They call this the thorax. I want to see it. That's a cool name, too, because... Oops. It's a cool name, too, because thorax, like... Thor's axe. Get it? That one's super sick. I don't like that pattern on it. But you can, like, look at the neck joint on these things. You just know that these things are made FU strong. And I love that it's, like, maple necks. He loves his maple necks. There's lots of availability to get maple necks and maple fretboards, etc. And that, awesome. And you see the way that he's got the necks done on a lot of these guitars is, it's sick. Like, the finish, it's not... You don't have to go and drag stuff over that shitty glossy necks. I hate gloss on necks. Helps nobody. It helps nobody. It literally helps nobody. And all the guys, the pro guys, like in this case, this one once had a glossy neck. Then what I do is what I do with any guitar I have that has a gloss on the neck, is I put tape here and I put tape here, and then I run just some very light abrasive material. There's lots of videos on how to satinize the back of your neck. Super easy to do. Be careful, because there is a way that you can go too deep and fuck shit up a little bit, at least for aesthetically, but you can fix it. So I would suggest, you know, if you're interested and you have a glossy guitar neck and you hate it because as soon as you start to sweat, your guitar starts to like this. So yeah, that's annoying for me. Super annoying because I get really sweaty, clammy hands anyways when I play guitar. Okay, so we saw the thorax. That was pretty cool. We're looking at wild guitars right now. That one shape, come on. I also really like what he did with his single cut, like his Les Paul. This looks cool too. Really like it. Super classy, and it's like you can definitely tell it's that. Like, I would play the fuck out of that guitar. The one that I felt weighed about, this one here, yes, the Nomad Red Rum. This is the one that when it came up for the first time, I was, yes, like, that is a shape that I would play in a heartbeat. And I have one on my wish list or my like list on Reverb, so that it reminds me that next time, reminds you when there's stuff on sale. I really want to get one of those Nomad Red Rums. I think it's just called the Nomad, and the Red Rum is just the finish on it. I love that shape. Let me just look that one up. Love the name of the guitar too. Yes. Right there. That is where I parked my car. Love this. I love the BC Rich, the old school BC Rich kind of headstock. That nod. Just a little nod. Just a little nod. A little nod to the old BC Rich headstock. And I love it. I fucking love it. With a single letter, just like the old BC Rich with the R. that is the classiest headstock that BC Rich could possibly do on any of their guitars, and that headstock works on any of their models. And boy howdy, if I had the ability to order a custom BC Rich, good Lord, I want an Ironbird real bad. I'm just like this hankering for a weird shaped guitar. As I hold one in my hand that I still haven't played a single note on the second half. And if someone's like, what about the Dooms? Shut up about the guitars. I don't like Zach Wild. Stop it. Hold on. All right, going. Man, I got way off there. It's not dark in Scotland, but it's hot as balls. It's actually seasonally cooler than it is here usually at this time of year. Usually we're starting to get the hot stuff, and we've just gotten like the warm stuff, which by all means suits me every day of the week. I would be totally fine if summer didn't go above like 22 degrees. And then like for like 2 weeks, it gets really, really sick hot and you can go swimming and stuff. Yay, summer. And then, but otherwise, give me like 20 to 25 tops. I'm a happy camper. I'm not a tropical person. I work with a lot of people that are just like, man, like I wish it would get to like 40 degrees here. It's like, what's wrong with you? Why would you want? Yeah, you probably live in an air-conditioned house. It's like, oh, I just can't wait to go back to Arizona. Why? I know Bo lives there. He's going to give me shit. But good Lord, that's hot. That is hot. Hot. And Bo can attest to that for sure. Like that Epiphone Kirk Hammett Greenie, it's got the right headstock, but it's expensive to the point where you just look at getting an actual Gibson. Yeah. Wait, you want to put slime green pickups in the voodoo guitars? Really? Is that what you're trying to say to me right now? I don't know if I could go. I can't back you on that one. You want the Odin? Dude, okay, so we've talked about the new Jackson Lee Malia, but even cooler, they've got a new Surfcaster, Jackson Surfcaster. It's a 7-string. They have it in 6 well. This one right here is pretty fucking sick, guys. I was looking at the price of these at my local, and that headstock. That headstock, it's a bolt-on. Is there a better? No, it's not. There's not a better. This thing is cool. There's a 6-string version of it. And it's right there. So there's the 7 with 1 pickup. There's this one that's fuck ugly. But imagine this one here in the middle with these crappy Jackson pickups. Imagine taking those Jackson pickups out and dropping a set of like white EMGs in there. Which is the first thing I would do to this guitar. I would put a white pickup in it. That would just, holy. Right now, see guys, now I'm son of a. Okay, fine. Oops. Okay. All right, this is it here. Ay. Go away. It's only $900 Canadian. For really real, is this thing a total dud? It's Indonesian made. All right. I'm curious, guys. I'm really curious. That pickup would be goner so fucking fast. And it'd be a white pickup in that place. Guys, I don't know. I've been talking about my love for the Surfcaster on this channel for like in streams for years now. And I still wanted one of the originals because Scott Ian played one in the only video, and from that moment onward, I've been gassing for one super hard. But this one is so nice. And you drop it down. Man, imagine dropping this thing down to like F sharp. Oh my God, this thing would be absolutely crushing. Tune it down to F sharp. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Seven-string Surfcaster. Just take my money, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. And it's got the binding on the fretboard, guys. I think I'm gonna buy one. I have a couple of things to even out here, but I think maybe I do have some project and product royalties and things that are going to be coming my way sometime soon, I think. So maybe this is what I do. It's awfully nice, guys, and I do need a 7-string. I would like a 7-string for the channel. Oh, stop it. You go away. Anyways. Then again, the 6-string's nice too, but it doesn't have the single pickup. It's got the deuce. HT7 is what it's called. HT7. Guys, I know we haven't oops. HT6 is what I was after there. Here you are. This one's nice too. I mean it's tough. It's tough to choose. That other one, they're both superb. I really like that they brought that back. Great idea. Clappity clap. Maybe I said I would never give Jackson guitars another try after the last two that I got were so jacked up. So jacked up. Quality wise, they needed big time problems. All right, so we're going to start this off like we started the last stream off. We're going to go straight from the default setting, and we're going to go with the hyper fuzz pretty much right straight out of the box. And I'm going to show you guys how you're going to be able to get the doomier side out of this. We showed you guys how you're going to get the stoner rock type. Now here is the doom style of things. What? Oh my God, it came out again. Isn't that fun? I took it, I plugged it in, then took it back out because I got back up. And I was like, the second time I was just like, nah, I'm not going to plug the guitar in this time. Lovely. Sat there the whole time. Didn't even realize it. Good times. All right. All right, let's make sure we're in tune, and then we're just going to start smashing universes Godzilla style. I didn't see any suggestions, though. If anybody has any tone chasing they want us to do it, and they're just like, man, I want to sound like this band, or I want to sound like that band, or I want to sound like this. This is the general sound I'm looking for. We can help you. But the first place we're going to tell you to look is to search your favorite, search the artist, specifically if it's an artist-based thing. Search for the artist first on equip board. That's always a good idea. An equip board may or probably will have some, or Reddit will have an idea. It will give you, or just looking at pictures of the band live. But we also remember that when you're looking of bands playing live, if it's at a festival, what they're using at a festival may, and it very well likely is not their main rig. So be careful when you're looking up stuff like that. Oh my goodness gracious. So good. So good. This is a one in... Just like this, basically a one and done Doom Stoner Rock station. And these things are pretty modestly priced. However, I'm going to pitch you another idea. I would say instead of buying Metallurgy, save up a few more bucks, forego a few different plugin purchases, and wait for Line 6 Helix Native to be on sale. The second that thing goes on sale, snap it up, grab it, because I think you're going to like that. It's going to cost you more, sure, yes. But the amount of gear inside Helix Native, which continues to grow and you continue to get for free, is insane. It's nuts. It's just truthfully like the amount of Doom gear alone for bass and guitar is just nuts. And I've said it many times. If someone said to me, I'm going to give you $100 million on the condition that you can only use one plugin for the rest of your life, bass and guitar, that's it. amp sim rather. You can only use one amp sim. That's it. You got to choose. It can just be one. It'd be Helix Native, hands down. I wouldn't even take a 0.5 seconds to think about it. It would just be, I would just cut them off and just be like, no, Helix Native. I'll just save you the rest of what you're saying right now and just say Helix Native. Where's the millions? Give me the millions. And that would be it, because there's just so much under the hood of Helix Native, and it's all so good at just anything you throw at it. If you're I don't care what you are, what kind of player you are. Trust me, my deal for my 100 million didn't say anything about IRs. If you have your own IR collection, or if you like to collect really good sounding IRs and IR packs, libraries, then Helix Native again becomes even more of your best friend. Their cabinets are getting better, and that was the one big knock on them for a while, is the cabinets are bad. They're okay. Just okay. Just okay. And then the IR industry went, and they just kind of went, and just kind of hovered. It was just like, come on. And then they gave it a nice little shot, and they shot up, and they've got a dual thing, and you can use your own IRs, but I still think that there's a little bit more work to do. Pardon me. I think their power amp modeling, which, if in my opinion, probably follows amp to amp, or it seems like it might need a little bit of a scooch at some point. I don't know if there are new upgrades for their hardware and stuff. I don't know if that has anything to do. Does anybody know if that has anything to do with Helix Native getting like an overhaul? I don't know. Bring Me the Horizon guitarist recently dropped, or is he that same guitar? I don't know. No, Lee Malleus is different. But yeah, one thing, by the way, that Bo knows, it's Bugera. That's the other thing. He knows Marshall, like, to an extent that, like, excuse me, like nobody I've ever known knows more about Marshall than Bo. Literally, and you guys are gonna find out maybe inside the next, I think maybe 3, 4 to 6 months. You guys are really gonna find out. Pardon me again. You guys are gonna find out just how much of a ninja Bo really is when it comes to Marshalls. I will shit you not. This here, everybody in this conversation right now, inside, I would say, if I'm being optimistic, the next months, we'll call it the next months, are going to find out just how much this dude knows about Marshalls. And about Marshall modifications and everything else. You guys are going to find out. And believe me, The horn will need to be tooted, and it will be tooted. Excuse me. And credit will be given where credit is due. I will tell you that. All right, so we are just messing around a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys just how savage this particular plugin really is. Like, it's just a sick plugin. There's also the Line 6 Doom. This is an amp that they've added in here. Let's see how it sounds without the hyper fuzz, and then let's see how it sounds with. Keep the cabinet I've got going right now because it sounds nice. Let's just hit it, guys. Let's hit it. All right, here we go. Nice. Cut it off before the noise gate grabbed it there. This thing is just unbelievable. And it really is a super underrated plugin. I just don't think that, pardon me, I don't think that these guys marketed this. They made like a nice little graphic with some, you know, they made like there was some nice graphics, but they didn't really do any like ground marketing. I don't know that they paid any influencers or anybody to do like the grunt work. I think if they had reached out to some of like the Doom influencers like Steve Rees and offered Steve Rees like a chunk of change, he would have definitely done this. 100%. And he definitely would 100%. Without a doubt, if Steve did a demo of this particular plugin, if he did if Steve at Does It Doom did something on Line 6 Doom, I'm telling you right now, they would see the sales spike so hard that they would recoup whatever they paid Steve to do the demo. I don't care if they gave him. I don't care if he made up like, oh guys, it's gonna be tough for me to promote a plugin. And by the way, this is not. This is just complete. Like, I'm putting myself in his shoes. In his shoes, the guy is a very, very analog loyalist demographic. His people are very, very. So if he's gonna promote a plugin, he's gonna have to see some. If I'm him, I'm gonna have to see a nice chunk of change. And whatever they give him, they're gonna see back in like 4 seconds. Because people buy what he sells, because he sells things with quality. And in this particular situation, this, again, for Doom guitar players at home and all the things that the reasons I gave you guys earlier, this is going to be the easiest way to do it. Okay? Instead of, and all the other ways we're going to explore today involve building your own signal chain and using a DAW and everything else. This, yeah, you have to use a DAW. I'm pretty sure I don't think there's a standalone. There might be, but even regardless, DAW's easy. Building signal changes kind of gets to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but then again, the folks in Doom World, they like their signal chains. They like building things. So they might also look at this at like, fuck yeah, this is, the way I look at it, just like they would, is this is a pedal board. That's all what I'm looking at in my DAW right now on the left-hand side is just a pedal board. That's all it is. And if you look at it like a pedal board, it becomes a lot less complicated. And that's what I tell a lot of people that are coming straight from analog, never used a plugin before. So I'd advise for everyone, all of us, we've all been in those situations where we help our analog friends get into plugins. So that is something I always tell people to tell people that are new to it, like look at everything on the left hand side like a pedal board. This one is super easy because you don't need anything. It's all on board. You get access to three really good sounding fuzz pedals and a phase shifter. You get access to a sun, an orange, an in-house line 6 creation, and is this a silver tone? Is that what these amps were? We talked about this recently. We literally talked about this recently. I still can't remember. Was it silver tone? I can't remember. Either way, mail order twin. You don't care. I don't think you're going to care a lot about the clean tone. But then again, throwing the fuzz pedals through this guy right here also has a unique effect. Some fun ways that you can make fun sounds and just have those little interludes and stuff for the, like at the start of songs where a lot of Doom songs where they start out slow and cleanish and then they build up the gain. This is going to kind of give you that ability to give them that side of things as well. What's the King by Evil Sound Lab? What? The King by Evil Sound Lab. Oh boy. Oh man, that's enough ads to choke a camel. I'm not going to show you guys ads. What is this? What the fuck are you then? I have no idea what this is. Anybody else? Didn't someone in our group chat post this? For some reason I feel like I've seen this UI before. I don't know, but it looks cool. What does it say it is? The King is a high gain distortion pedal based on the brand new on the brand new schematic. What brand new schematic? I'm not making fun. Obviously, let's hang on. Our goals were to reject conservative guitar pedal controls and implement sound design tricks and mixing approaches in the one plugin to give the user most flexibility to. Okay, Destiny, low high. What's the Destiny knob? Pre-distortion emphasis peak filter with a tunable frequency to manage the distortion structure. That's a word salad. It's a word salad right there. A pre-distortion emphasis peak filter with tunable frequency to manage the distortion structure. Oh my God. Actually, most of the distortion pedals have such okay, so yeah. Okay, I would be interested to try it. Xander Bananas, you try this, please. How much is it? New version released. Is it Developer Challenge 2021? So this has been out for a bit. Okay, I distinctly remember somebody posting this in our group chat at a point in the last years. I really like the tone. Unfortunately, it consistently crashes or bugs out. And okay, so that just means it needs to be. This just needs to be like, I wouldn't even send this as a review. Right here is something I would send to the developer. I really like the tone. Unfortunately, it consistently crashes or bugs out in FL Studio. Okay, so then send that to the developer guy. Okay, send that to the developer, and maybe they can just. I don't know, man. I wouldn't send that just to like, I don't know if I would do it like that. I would send that directly to the developer and basically let them know that they need to have somebody sort out some bugs in FL Studio, because some developers, they build something on their own DAW with their own like 1 or 2 or 3 DAWs in mind, and they don't have a chance to test it with all DAWs. This is why you need a beta testing group. So you know that people are working in multiple DAWs, and oftentimes they'll ask you your OS and they'll ask you your DAW and everything else when you're signing up for a beta program, because that becomes useful to them if they're having bugs with something in such DAW or whatever. They can ask you, hey, are you having the same bug? Well, it just says try it now for free. So I assume that try it now for free. Okay, no, just never mind. It just says try it out. Okay, so that's free. So that's going to be up to you, man. You're going to have to try it. And the thing is about a lot of these, the KVR plugins, is that they get abandoned. Straight up. Abandoned. Abandoned. All right. You're going to try it. I know you're going to try it. The thing is about a lot of those KVR plugins that kind of sucks is that oftentimes these like developers will build one plugin or 2 plugins and never update them again for the entirety of the time. It becomes just like, fuck this thing and fuck this project and fuck this whole coding thing. Or maybe they go on, it was just a hobby and they just got bored or got burned out of it, and fielding countless emails from people, and just decided not to update it anymore. But lots of plugins on there. Like, you could send the developers stuff till you're blue in the face. And like, I've done that lots, and offered to be part of beta teams and stuff like that. And I've tested lots of stuff that was really broken and yet still released when it could have been avoided by having an actual beta team put together. And I have frequently offer our team here at the MCM Universe. We have a large team here. Like, I think we are, like, for active members, probably like 10 or 11 strong right now. And we act as a beta team for a bunch of different developers, not to mention pretty much everybody here is on one or many beta teams across the entirety of the industry. So it's fun to be part of that. Not so you're like, I'm first. It's nice to just be part of things and finding little bugs and getting to make suggestions and say, hey, this sounds good, but this, and getting to be part of that is fun. So get on a beta team if you have the chance. Start, by finding even a smaller developer. Most of the bigger developers have firm beta teams at this point, pretty firm. But for smaller developers, a lot of them don't. They don't know how to find that necessarily. Wow. Okay, so back to tones. We're going to start building some stuff on our own. We're going to use Clarent here, and I am going to use Clarent. We're going to abuse poor Clarent here. This poor soul Clarent, and we are also going to abuse the L12X. And this is the free option, and we do this every time. And by the end of the stream, I'm going to show you guys how you guys can use nothing but the heavy pedal, aka the heavy metal pedal, HM2. This is the best plugin based on this particular pedal on the entire market, in my opinion. I don't think there's another one that comes close. But I have yet to try the one from Mercurial Audio. If I know them, and I know them well, it's going to be a banger. So I can't wait. I'm just trying to think of which amps in there I would use the HM2 with. I'm just like pre-planning my like, hey, this is going to be awesome. So anyways, we're going to show you at the end of the stream how you can get some Swedish death metal, because the HM2 is now being used in Doom circles. It's about fucking time. Everybody's like constantly clamoring over the hyperfuzz. And meanwhile, there's this evil, annoying, beefy, bulldozy SOB right here that's just aching for a shot to get at it. So I might as well just show you guys how to get a good solid free tone. We're going to start with the L12X actually, and we're going to use the onboard impulse response, which is a blend of a few different C-Cal cabs. I believe there is the former products of C-Cal cabs that I don't think are no longer available. Okay, so Now I'm going to go to the cool thing here is if you go to the mod section or the type section rather, go to the screen, you go to the type section, it gives you these different mods and different versions of the HM2 that exist out there, plus little modifications that you can do kind of on the fly. So the filth mod is something I want you to explore if you have this or if you have not explored this section. I know there's a couple people that thought it was like, oh man, I just noticed something. I really forgot. I really have to install some new licenses. Anyways, we have got to switch to the face for a sec. Anyways, we're going to go to the 808 mod. I'm going to dime everything here, but I'm going to be careful with the level. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. Let's just nuke that. All right, here we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just fucking shredded somebody. I'm sorry. Good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do to save it. There's nothing I can do to apologize. This is where we are at. This is where we're at now. I'm sorry. All right. Wow. Gotta beef that up. I gotta shave off some top end and bring in some of the beef. Before the gate just stole it away. All right, we're going to turn down some of the highs. We're going to use this for Doom right now, not Swedish death metals. So I'm going to use the default setting here. So this amp is free, by the way, 100% free. You can go get it from Audio RDI. We showcase this one a lot because it's free and it's a really easy way to get into plugins. There is a standalone mode for it. I am actually not using the newest version. There is a new version of it. This thing is truthfully awesome. And I use it as a way to test all new pedal plugins and all new IRs that come through here. This thing sounds great for anything from rock to doom to stoner rock to extreme metal, thrash, whatever you want to do with it. It seems like it can help you out. So, and that's just alone inside the red mod, just the red amp right here. The other two are it's kind of a different bird in the sense that this amp right here, the standard, was modeled actually after a real piece of gear, one of those little tiny Marshall amps that sits on top of one of those little tiny cabinets. I can't remember. I think it's the lead 10 or lead 12. Is it the lead 12? Lead 10? I can't remember. Anyhow, however, the clean and the metals amps here were Luca's way of developing a new style of amp sim development, a new style of modeling, a new style of doing things that he then decided to, when he partnered with Thomas over at Polychrome, that was sort of his way of testing some things out, and I think he just did a fantastic job. That being said, it's much different now, but this was his way of just testing out the very grassroots way of doing something a bit different that he does now over there. So this thing is truthfully awesome, and it's 100% free. So make sure you check this thing out. We are going to hit it with a few different things, but we're also going to use amplification clarent here to make some aggressive noise. But being that we're going to have a little bit more fun, we're going to turn off these mics and we're going to start building a signal chain a little bit. And let's do that. And I'm going to explore the 70s Giants pack from ML Sound Lab. This seems like a good time to try it out. So I'm going to do that. right now. This is the ML70s Tony. Okay, sounds good. We're all set. Let's, without the pedal first, let's get our tone through Clarent here. So it's got 3 different amps. This is, they do things a bit different. They model things a bit different. They just do things a bit different. And if you've never used a Kawasa product, you won't necessarily know what I'm getting at. But I think if you try them out, you'll figure it out pretty quick how they do things. In this case, they've given you 3 different orange amplifiers at 2 channels apiece, done in kind of their own in orange inspired way, we'll call it. I don't know how they do what they do, but they do what they do quite nicely. So they do provide, I will say that their cabinet sections are marvelous. They are magic. They really do have some nice cabinet sections. But we're going to do things a bit different. We're going to use, as mentioned, the ML Sound Lab. We've got the Heaven, the Hell. We're going to use a couple different mixes. And this is I think this is a Laney cabinet, if I'm not 100% mistaken. I could be. Yeah, it's definitely recent. All right, so that we've got that. Now we're going to start hitting it with some pedals. Let's go with the Big Sewer, for example. Now, we haven't set this thing up for Doom yet. We're going to do that now. Sounds monstrous. So this is a free, 100% free fuzz pedal that you can go grab. Super easy to use. Just load it up with whatever amp or keyboard if you'd like. As I've learned that fuzz pedals can sound, and also Proco Rats can sound absolutely disgusting on like Hammonds, like Deep Purple style. If you've never heard anything by Deep Purple, just go listen to the start of Space Truckin' and realize that what you're listening to is mostly a keyboard. Monstrous sounding, absolutely giant sounding. Yeah, it is recent. Man, how's everybody doing? I feel like we slowed down here a little bit. Moderation. Yes, I will. It's telling me to choose moderators. We have a moderator. We have Pedro, but yet I have to enter him as a moderator yet. This guitar sounds just completely monstrous as well. I'm not 100% sold, and I know Pedro, if I decide to pull these, they're on their way to you. I'm not 100% sure that these are going to live in this guitar forever. I don't know yet. Just don't know. I don't know. Monstrous. Super stoked on this sound that we're pulling out of Clarent here. Clarent is fantastic. This is one of my favorite oranges, and I'm not super. I haven't used this pack at all. By the way, thank you so much to ML Sound Lab for sending over this pack a while back. monstrous. Monstrous. It sounds incredible. So this is just free fuzz. Going to the heavy pedal back to it rather. Let's go back to this. Really? Cody Stokes, really? Big Sir's $19 now. Ray didn't tell me that. Damn, made me a liar. It should be, though. Honestly, I always felt it was a bit too... I don't know about a bit too good to give away for free, but man... It's really like truly great sounding fuzz, even for $20, $20 for a plugin that sounds that fucking good. And I think it sounds like an absolute war zone, a bulldozer. Speaking of bulldozers, there's also the dozer drive you can get from Fuse Audio Labs. That's my first ever signature plugin that came out a while back now, but it is still supported and updated, unlike some of these KVR come lately and leave too soon. People that don't update their plugins, I can assure you that Fuse Audio Labs man, he's meticulous about that sort of thing. Or are you thinking of just the entire pedal bundle as $19? Go have a look and make sure you're not looking at the VPB. If you're looking at the VPB, I think you might be looking at the full bundle. Because the Big Sur comes in a bundle, but it also comes in a bundle with a bunch of other pedals. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe he did tell me. I don't think he told me. Anyhow, we're just hanging out. We mentioned getting the Swedish death metal sound for free, and I'm not jumping out of here. Wow, I should be jumping out of here pretty soon, but I'm not jumping out of here just yet. Okay, so we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna show you guys how we're gonna do this. So this is free, 100% free. Now this pedal plugin right here, why am I listening to this? Maybe not. Yeah, sure. All right. So the heavy pedal here, I think it's usually quite cheap. Last I looked, it was like $24.99. So $24.99. You're going to start there. For a cabinet, you don't even need a cabinet. You're going to use the onboard cabinet, save some money. But either way, I see what I was doing wrong there. No, wait, no, I shut it off. I might have been doing something. Hang on a second. I might have accidentally been going IR through IR there. Usually you get that really tunnely type sound, but sometimes it's easy to do it by accident. Folks, it is, especially when you're going from like component to component. So always make sure that you haven't done it, which I did not. Make sure. Anyways. So if we're looking to go get a Swedish death metal sound, cabinet really is irrelevant, because back in that actual scene, they used basically any 412 cabinet they could get their hands on, and most of those albums were recorded with a 112 cabinet. A lot of those albums were recorded in the early days of Swedish death metal. We're talking the Stockholm sound, HM2 style, not the Gothenburg, In Flames, Soilwork type style. Although we've done streams on that before. If that interests you, do a little quick search and it'll come up. and enjoy that stream because it was a fun one to do. Yes, the bundle, man. The bundle's awesome though. The bundle comes with a really, really great bunch of stuff. There's one pedal called the Octafish that you're probably not going to use, admittedly. But that is more of a, it's been said to me by the developer himself, more of a keyboard effect. Although I honestly, I couldn't really find a use for it for guitar myself. For bass, I kind of did, but for keyboard, I definitely felt that that was fun to throw in a loop with like a Hammond. Yeah, man, those science IRs they absolutely slay. Okay, so let's go with just like let's just go with a Marshall, and let's go with the MF. Okay, the Mode 4 Classic, and we're gonna turn that off for starters though, and we're gonna start with just this for free. So this is $24.99. I think around 24. There's big news coming to NAMM Universal. Big news. Huge news coming for NAMM Universal. We are doing a complete overhaul of the UI. It was done by Lewin, and Lewin doesn't work. Lewin doesn't work for Wavemind, and Chris wanted to redo the UI himself because he's just more comfortable with the uniformity between products. And I completely agree with that. That's totally understandable. So we're working on something kind of interesting. It's going to be for the free version, and it's big news though. It's going to turn out, I think, a little bit more the way I had kind of initially had hoped with the UI. So we'll see. Okay, so we've got the pedal, which I'm at this point, I don't know exactly how much it is. Let's see. Visit summer sales, 60% off. By the way, this would be the other way I would show you guys if we had maybe a little bit more time today. This is the other way that if you wanted that Swedish death metal sound, woo, this thing is absolutely spectacular. Also, really truthfully, one of the greatest things I've ever used for parallel distorted bass on the distorted non-compressed side. This thing is just an absolute war machine. All right. So, classic distortions. Oh, wow. All of these are $30. You can get all of these pedals for $30? You're kidding me. You're shitting me right now. I didn't know that Luca went ahead and did that. Holy cow. $30 for all of these immaculate pedal plugins. Each one of these sounds exactly like the pedal that it represents in the plugin realm. Okay? As much as I hate the DS1, this thing sounds exactly like it, to the point where all the things I hate about the DS1, I also come out right out in that plugin and are perfect. When something even when something irritates you in the same way it does in analog form, you're like, God damn, I can't say it's not realistic and authentic. I've never been a fan of the sound of the DS1. It's also super noisy, and so is this plugin. It's noisy because it's accurate, and that is a noisy friggin' pedal. Man, holy shit. So anyways, $30, $29 you get this amazing bundle for. Wow. And with that you get, can you even buy effects plugin? Can you even buy the pedal on its own anymore? Show all. How much is just this is another, guys, the $24.99 for the Doom Gorgon. We're going to get into that in a quick second here. You can get the heavy pedal just on its own for $10. $10. So this is exactly how you get Swedish death metal for $10 and have it be immaculate. So we're going to take all these knobs and turn them to the right. And we are going to use our amp here. And we're gonna tune this up a little bit and see what we got. Yeah, that Randall is not the most accurate, admittedly, as said by the developer. And there was one key thing that kind of got a little bit kind of messed up in with that amp. And I think it's still super accurate, but keep in mind, you're chasing crowbar tone with that amp. If you're not starting with the EMG 81, you're already losing that battle. That is an EMG the second that they start playing guitar. I can hear EMG. And Kirk Winstein, of course, years and years and decades user of EMG pickups, switched to Fishman for a little bit, but I think already moved back to EMGs. If I'm not mistaken, he moved back. Because they just don't replace them. They do not replace each other. They are very different sounding pickups. And if you're an EMG 81 lover, you might go over to the Fishman stuff and say, this is not at all what this is. But like everyone says that the Fishman Fluence Modern ceramic completely replaces. It's like a way better version of the 81. No, it's not though. It's a completely different technology in general. Not different technology. It's the active pickups are active pickups, but it's just, these are made different. These things are made different. So that does make it does. The thing is though, EMGs are so easy to find. EMG 81s are just, they're not expensive pickups. They never have been, they probably never will be a super expensive pickup. They're easy to find used too. Super easy to find used. I'll tell you one thing, they were way easier to find used about 5 years ago or less, when everyone and their sister was switching to Fishman from EMG. Everyone was just jumped over and finding you could go on Reverb and find piles and piles and piles of EMGs competitively priced to where I once got a set for like $70. A set for $70. And this wasn't even that long ago. Things have just definitely changed with that. People are starting to kind of find their way back as they always have. Even just like they did after the Seymour Duncan blackouts and live wires and everything else. People find their way back to EMG because it's what they know and it's what they like. So those pickups, I think that's where you're having the problem. Plus, Kirk Winstein has also used multiple amps over his career. It wasn't just that specific amp, although he did use that one for quite some time. He got a lot of gear from Dime, from what I understand. A lot of the gear, a lot of the bands in New Orleans, in fact, that whole NOLA scene used to get a lot of gear from Pantera because they'd be done with stuff and they would just like, whew, hey, we got free stuff from the label. They gave me like 6 amps. I only need 2. Way they go. Just like when people are saying that they're after the Slayer tone. And I see all these, like, if you look in the search bar, how to get Slayer tone, and you're seeing all these dudes with pickups that are not EMG 81s. I'm sorry, but someone trying to teach me how to get, I mean, I don't want to look for a really poor analogy here, but I mean, when I'm looking at how to get Slayer tone video and I don't see an EMG 81 right off the cuff, I'm already sus. I'm super suspect of this particular tone tutorial. You know what I mean? Tell me, sir. And the pickup is going to be a big part of the voice. Anybody that tells you that pickups don't matter is factually a fucking moron. Okay? That is it. Pickups don't matter. You're an idiot. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I don't actually know anybody like that, but a good buddy of mine says he works with a guy like that just continuously tells him that pickups don't fucking matter. And he's just like, it's, for me, I'm so glad I don't work with someone like that, because I'd end up in HR, because we would have a fight. If someone was continuously following me around my workplace telling me that pickups don't matter, my pride would only last so long before I got myself in trouble. Who's on the QC? I said a lot of things there. Oh, Kurt Weinstein. I think, okay. So here's the thing. These guys might be using these things live, and I'll tell you why. Crew, okay? A lot of bands right now are cutting back. And where are they cutting back? Their road crews. And where do they have to make changes in order to cut these people back? They have to use stuff like the Quad Cortex, or they go with one of the modelers. And that is becoming a huge thing. It's also saving on transportation space. And when you can get it sounding really, really good, when you can get the Quad Cortex and all these other things sounding really good for, and the Kemper and the Fractal, these three units. And I'd say let's add the Helix in there as well, because some bands are using the Helix. Helix's is live. I would say that I would go as far as saying that 90% of the bands that are using those things live would be using tube amps and real amps if they could, but they know it saves so much money and it saves so much setup time. It saves so, especially going to play festivals and stuff, you're not having to rent gear anymore and rely on an amp that's already been used 6 times over the fucking weekend. You know, you're not that last guy that's just hoping the amp can still, like, keep fucking swinging even after people have been just cranking it up on a giant festival stage all weekend. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You don't have to worry about having someone having the right or the wrong mics even. You don't have to worry about anything. You walk in, you plug in your rack case to front of house, and bam, it's it. You're done. You're on your way. And that saves a lot of headache, a lot of setup time, and a lot of everything else. Especially when it comes to crew. Now, I hate to say it, but a lot of these bands that are switching where they used to have 3 roadies now have 1. You know what I mean? Because now they don't need 3 guys to lug shit around anymore. They have 1 guy that wheels in 3 rack cases and plugs it into front of house, and you're fucking done. That's it. It's wrapped up. And the only problem I see with that, the thing I dislike about it the most, is that for the people that are sitting or standing, that are standing behind front of house. And what that means is if again, I don't mean to explain things for some of you that know exactly what I mean there. What that means is the front of house, meaning the PA system and the PA system speakers. When you're standing at stage front, you're oftentimes, you are behind the wedges, you're behind the wedges, and you can't really hear that. You're relying on stage volume and being able to hear monitors. Well, being up in the front row is kind of weird now, as we experienced when we went to see Amon Amarth. We were right up front, and it was super weird because all we could hear was drums. That's all you can hear now is drums, because everyone's using in-ear monitors and these nice compact units that don't move any air. No cabinets on stage means nothing for the front, for the people that are like right up front. It tends to be a bit of a different and weirder experience, I would imagine. Because some people think that you can actually, in those situations, you can actually see the musicians just are able to have just like a conversation and talk to each other while they're on stage, and like there's nothing to contend with. It's really strange. So for people that are right up front, it's kind of weird. Yeah, man, I don't blame the people either, because touring right now is getting expensive, really expensive. And there are a lot of bands that just aren't. They're like, fuck it, we're not touring. We're just not going to do it, because even these bands that are huge. And I can't remember which band it was I watched a video recently, semi-recently, and it was this kind of a bigger band. I don't know if it was Trivium. I can't remember who it was, but a band that was playing arenas. And after this whole arena, they were playing arenas. And after these tours, they weren't even making a ton of money. Like these guys were going home with, take home was astronomically low. But after you think about everything that needs to get taken care of, out of that money, other bands, looks like the support bands, the sound guys, the tour managers are making their 10% or whatever. Not tour managers, but your booking agents making probably 10%. The tour managers are making money. The stage managers are making money. And as far as an arena tour goes, and at the end of it, they're like, even with a cut back road crew and a condensed, like this compressed and condensed, gear situations, we still aren't making these bands aren't even big arena sized bands are not these millionaires and billionaires as people, not billionaires, but they are not millionaires like people. Everybody thinks, oh, they're playing arenas. They're super rich. No, they're not. They're just accommodating everyone. They're trying to accommodate everyone that wants to see them, but that maxes out somewhere. Anyways. So when it comes to getting some like beefy and amazing Doom tones, guys, I mean, it's pretty obvious there's a lot out there. This is the last thing we'll go over really quickly. This thing is super cheap, and this is the Doom-A-Gorgon, and we'll say right out of the box here, this thing is the Doom, guys. Now that's with the onboard IR. If I wanted to get a little bit more saucy, this is like a $20 tone right now. But if I want to get a little bit more saucier, I can go in here. Let's go into Boomtown. What does Boomtown have for us? Its IR pack is not that expensive either. This thing just sounds awesome. It really does. The Audio-Ordi L12X, I promote this thing every day of the week. It's free. It sounds this good, and it sounds good at everything. I could just change guitars, change the pedal to the Atlas DSP DI crank up there, and we'd be genting in no time. No problem. You can get gent out of this thing. You can get anything you want just out of the standard red without even going to the clean or the metal. But when adding the clean and the metal into the equation, man, this thing just all out rips. There's no reason why everyone shouldn't have this in their collection. And then just sit with this, download, and find just go pedal plugin crazy. Find all the freebies you can. Buy all of the. That's my challenge for you guys. Find all the free pedals that you can. Good ones though. There are a lot of them out there. There's a few of them right at Audio-Ordi. One of the things that you guys can get from them for free is our collaboration, the Sword. That is free. There's a bunch of free stuff in the chain right now. Actually, Nembrini Audio Black is free. You guys can go check that out. There's also the Effector Silencer is free. And there's a ton of stuff in here that I was using that cost very little. Not quite a freeware Friday, but again, even the stuff that was paid today, the majority of it is 100% affordable. This is, again, another one that's free. We didn't use this today, but this is the big stuff from Nembrini Audio. He knew he needed a fuzz pedal in the lineup, so he went out and got one and did one up back a ways. The thing sounds awesome. It does. There's tons of freeware. Make sure when you're at Nembrini Audio, download, go to the website and download Nembrini Central. That's their hub. And you go in there and it just shows you all the freeware and you can just get it. It'll just install it right all just and you install it all and you're ready to go. Make sure you also download all the free pedal plugins from Mercurial Audio, Ignite Amps stuff, pre-merger / partnership. I'm not sure what you would call it with STL Tones. And man, there's tons of stuff out there. And run them all through this freeware beauty right here. The L12X. All right, guys. All right, you want to come in? You want to? All right. If you're gonna nose the mic stand, you might as well come. No. Don't make noise. By the way, for all of you guys out there that were wondering how this guy was doing, for a while it was looking kind of grim, and this guy's absolutely thriving these days, and he's just my best pal. So it's cheers to this guy. He's back up. His energy's way back up. He is back to being himself. So, yeah, cheers to this guy. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I will be here this weekend. I'm going to be here probably tomorrow. Tomorrow sometime, probably around the same time. Don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm thinking maybe some thrashing. That'd be fun to build some thrashy tones. Also, we could just go viewer request and just do some viewer requests and go through some stuff. We could pick a platform. That we could also do that. Pick a platform like Helix Native, for example. We could poke around in there a little bit and build some tones. I don't know. I really don't know. Cat moments are great, though, aren't they? That's my man. We were just saying it the other day. How grateful we are just to have animals, our pets around, because man, like, she came home the other day in a rough mood, and her cat was all like super happy to see her. I say her cat, but Super Sam, our blind cat, I say her cat. He's our cat, but really he's her cat. He just loves her to the end of the earth. So, and she immediately sees him and starts getting happy, you know. So it's nice to have pets at home. It really is. Thrash and death all day. All right. We can do, we'll just do thrash. We'll just call it all things. Thrash, death metal. We'll do a bunch of stuff. Black and death. It'll be fun. I don't want to do a stream full of just black metal. Although it would be fun sometime to actually show, and we get Scott to come in here and tell people about how to like really produce a good sounding black metal rhythm guitar. All right. Well. Oh, here comes me go vroom vroom. He go vroom vroom. Guys. All right, just hang on a sec. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, I didn't see it. Again, I didn't see anything in the comments at all. I didn't see anything in the comments at all with regard to tone hunts or artists or different types of, just really different types of tones or artists you guys might be looking for. But if you guys have any, just ask. No problem. Scott be like, I'd reverb it and make it sound like shit. No, that's not true. Really good sounding black metal guitar, it sounds good. Like Marduk is a classic example of things sounding, that is to me, that is right on the cusp and the threshold of sounding too raw for me, but everything is played so well, and the tones, everything is well thought out and well rounded. It's fantastic. I love Marduk. Such a strange fucking band, but I love that. I absolutely love that band. I know that people don't consider that underground black metal. They're well known, bro. They're not underground. Well, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that I hear that I just, man, there's a lot of stuff I hear that I don't know, man. Fear Factory? Fear Factory would be easy to pull off. Just pull out the Fort in Cali. Get to work. That's it. EMGs, the Fort in Cali, done. Do you remember when Christian Olde Wolbers was playing guitar for them for a while when Dino left? And he had that rad Jackson model. Hold on. Christian Olde Wolbers Jackson. He had some nice Jacksons. They were cool. Yeah, they were stripped down and they had that fucking ridiculous, like, that headstock. Yeah, this is the one right here. This one. Yeah, this one was cool as shit. Can I just see a picture? Damn it. DK7 or DK6? Anyways, this was the guitar, man. This guitar is sweet. I really liked this one. I liked all the guitars he did with Jackson. See, simple, easy going, and the headstock looks sick. That headstock is awesome. This was nice too. Was that one of his SIGs? I don't think that was one of his SIGs. Another one here. 2008. That was a while ago. Yeah, man. Really nice, eh? That's Canadian as fuck right there. Middle gain stuff? There's one guitar that I really have to do a little bit of work on the frets. And then once I do that, I really want to kind of bust it out for like a rock stream. It's just been a bit since I've had a chance to work on, I had a moment to work on a guitar. I've said so much going on. Okay, guys, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Man, it's just great. We're over 500 now. I've been really, really excited just like come on and do streams. I want to do more. And as mentioned, this summer series of streams is coming this summer. July 1st will be the first one. Maybe even prior to it. No, it'll start prior to that. The Friday prior to that. But I will be doing a stream on Canada Day. It's going to be fun. We'll be listening to nothing but Canadian music in the background. We could just listen to nothing but Cryptopsy and Cataclysm and call it a day. All right, guys. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow around 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Don't know what we'll be doing. Something heavy, probably. At some point, I'm just gonna fuck with everyone and do a straight up jazz stream. I really need to do some learning of jazz chops, though. I would need to learn some more crazy chords that break my fingers. in order to do that. But and I have to do some research as well. But someday you guys I'm gonna fuck with you guys and we're gonna do that. Also, I'd like to do a bass stream again sometime soon, but do like a punk rock type bass stream where we're, you know, going after like a Matt Freeman or Mike Dirnt and that type of guys. I don't know. There'd be like one person that would watch that. It would get 6 views annually. Anyways, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers. I'll see you next time.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry